Canada's S201 bill is going to allow, assuming it goes through, and with some fewer caveats, 16-year-olds to vote in Canada. I mean, I don't even know why Canada bothers to vote. You've had a tyrant, son of Fidel Castro, running your reputation into the ground, and it's made you the world's laughingstock. Everyone thinks you're a big joke. No one takes you seriously. And obviously you guys don't feel so great about it because when state-sponsored assisted dying came into play, a lot of you are looking forward to not being alive anymore because of just how demoralized and socially and spiritually crushed you've all become. Which for Canadians, honestly, it'd be great for the world if you guys go that route because you're just insufferable. Just unbearable. But let me explain to you why they're doing this, letting 16-year-olds vote. MAID, medical assistance in dying, whatever auspices they initially introduced it under, is a measure to reduce the state burden of having to take care of people who are no longer working age and who are no longer productive taxpayers. It's an elegant solution, not unlike my ancestors' Alta-step, where you got the old people to literally step off a cliff so that you didn't have to feed them, take care of them anymore. And it frees up things like pension money to be spent on, well, whatever ridiculous bullshit that particular government wants to waste its funding on. Me, an American, is all too familiar with my taxpayer money being just pissed away on worthless shit that in no way benefits anyone that's a native-born citizen that bothered to work and generate that tax revenue and give it away at gunpoint to an entity that can care less whether I live or die. So, I mean, I'm aware of the practice of pissing away tax money. But why piss away tax money on things like retirement funds and what have you, and nationalized health care for a class of citizens who no longer make you any tax revenue, and you can just convince them to off themselves? The problem with this is you're going to have less people because we're not breeding at replacement rates, and now you're trying to convince the old people not to stay alive any longer than they have to. You're going to need a new voter base to continue yes-manning and going along and being complicit in the destruction of the nation. Enter the younger voting age, which is eventually, much to the glee of these NGO organizations and the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum and people like that, it's much better to have a serf class that's young and uneducated who doesn't live too long and spends the prime of their life working hard only to voluntarily forfeit life itself once they've come to the pinnacle of wisdom and start to have age enough and experience enough on this earth to develop perspective to start asking the correct questions. Now, hold on a damn minute. I've been working all my life and I don't have anything to show for it. Yes, they let me coom unendingly. I get to play all the video games I want. They've legalized all these pills and drugs to keep me, preoccupied mentally, and they let me go goon and coom. There's no structure of family anymore. Everybody raises everybody's kids, so to speak. The entire village raises the kids, so I can just go off and be wantonly sexually irresponsible. And as a matter of fact, they're probably gonna start propping up sex work even harder than ever. Especially if young people have anything to say about it in the vote. They're gonna definitely vote for more sexual promiscuity to be more widely available even to the involuntary celibate types, so everybody gets laid all the time. And there'll be no consequences for this because, you get national health care, so you can go get tested or whatever. And once everybody has HIV anyways, I'm sure it won't matter at that point. And if you don't live all that long, it's fine because, again, you have MAID. So when living hurts too much or you get a little too sick or whatever, start spreading some bugs, they'll just either convince you or force you, for that matter. They might not even make it voluntary. They might make it involuntary and just MAID you. But you got young taxpayers, and if they're able to vote at 16, they can join the workforce fully fledged at 16, and you basically reduce the age at which you can participate in paying your taxes and being a wage slave. So, and then you can cut schooling short too, for that matter. I mean, why even bother with the university when you can get straight to work doing menial jobs? You don't really need more doctors and lawyers, ultimately. Rockefeller would agree. And if they need those, they can always just brain drain a place like India and bring all their doctors and lawyers over here. to North America, and then all the native-born Canadians can just work menial jobs, do drugs, play video games, vote, have wildly irresponsible sex, and then, head out by the time they're about 45 years old and, hop in that gas chamber, be off this, slip off their mortal coil. It's just a serf class. They want you to work the prime of your life away, providing for them, the elites, and then they want you out of the way. They don't want to cover for your needs. They don't want to take care of you once you're worn out and beaten down and you've gotten cynical and worldly, and you start coming to your senses and realize you want more for yourself than just a nut all day. Well, we can't have you thinking too hard or for too long, so just made yourself. Make way. We got some more kids coming in. They pass this, they'll be pushing for 14 years old in less than fucking 5 years. Bet. Seriously. I don't think Trudeau's going anywhere, so it's going to be more of the same. And, another great thing about 16-year-old voters is that kind of gives you some kind of fast and loose play to drop that age of consent a little bit so, they can get to diddling at a much younger age and keep on pushing that child sexualization angle, too. I can't imagine that has nothing to do with it. I mean, that's got to be a part of it. It almost always is with these government types. It's pretty sick. It's not surprising. It's definitely disappointing and disgusting, but it's government for you. You should govern yourself. That's not to say be an anarchist, because that's stupid, but just be responsible for your own behavior. Actually have a drive in life to have more than what you do now. Try to adopt a lifestyle that improves your skill set, and just try to actually have something for yourself, some kind of accomplishments. Yeah? For fuck's sake, if you have a bone of common sense in your body, leave Canada immediately. Make some room up there, and maybe they'll take all of our leftists from down here in the U.S.